Hello brothers and welcome to Sigma Old Man channel. Master yourself or be mastered forever. That's not just a quote, it's a warning. Because in a world where everyone's busy performing, pleasing and pretending, there's a rare type of man who refuses to play along, the Sigma male. He's not loud, he's not flashy, but when he moves, the whole room shifts. And here's a fact most people miss. According to recent psychological studies, less than 1% of men naturally operate like Sigmas, outside the hierarchy, immune to groupthink and addicted to growth. But don't confuse their silence for softness. These men have habits so sharp they don't just survive, they dominate without needing a throne, a title, or an audience. In this video, we're diving into 11 unstoppable habits of the Sigma male. The stuff no one talks about. Not the recycled self-help fluff. This is the real playbook. The mindset, the discipline, the tactics that make these men absolutely untouchable. So, grab your focus and maybe a snack, because what you're about to hear might just rewire how you see power, purpose, and the people around you. Let's get into it. Number 1, they train themselves to stay calm when others panic. They train themselves to stay calm when others panic. And it's not just some cool personality trait, it's calculated. Sigma males understand that in chaos, most people lose their minds. Emotions take over, logic disappears, and everyone scrambles, reacts, and spirals. That's when the Sigma male becomes dangerous. He's not running around like a headless chicken. He's scanning the room, watching every move and thinking 10 steps ahead while others are still stuck on what do we do. He's rehearsed this moment in his mind 100 times already. This kind of composure doesn't come naturally, it's built. Slowly, deliberately. Sigma males expose themselves to discomfort regularly, not because they enjoy suffering, but because they know the value of training under pressure. Whether it's facing rejection, walking into the unknown, tackling fear head-on, or doing the uncomfortable thing when it's easier to avoid it, they do it on purpose. So when life throws a curveball, they don't flinch. Everyone else freezes. They move quietly, strategically. They've also killed the habit of reacting emotionally. They don't scream, panic, or over-explain. They observe. They watch what's unfolding and decide with full awareness whether to engage or step back. That kind of control makes people around them uncomfortable. Because when someone stays calm in chaos, it forces everyone else to confront their own lack of control. And that's exactly why people either follow the Sigma male or fear him. Even in arguments or confrontations, they don't lose their cool. They let the other person explode while they stay eerily calm. Why? Because whoever stays calm holds the power. That unnerving calmness isn't passive, it's dominance without the volume, it's calculated presence. When a Sigma male walks into a crisis, he's already mentally prepared. Not because he knew it would happen, but because he's been quietly sharpening his mental toughness while others were numbing theirs with distractions. This ability to stay grounded when everything's falling apart makes them magnetic. People may not say it out loud, but they look to the Sigma in a crisis. Because deep down, everyone trusts the person who doesn't panic, the one who doesn't shake when the ground does. And Sigma males know it. They don't need to lead loudly. Their stillness is what everyone ends up following. Number 2, they treat their energy like a bank account, and most people are overdrafts. Sigma males treat their energy like a limited currency, and they guard it like a vault. They're not out here throwing their time, attention, or presence at just anyone. They know exactly how expensive their energy is, and more importantly, how quickly the wrong people can drain it. While most people bend over backwards to be liked, to be available, or to keep peace, Sigma males do the opposite. If someone constantly brings chaos, drama, guilt-tripping, or that low vibrational energy that makes you feel like you need a nap after 5 minutes, they're out. No warning, no dramatic speech, no second chances. They don't explain why they disappeared. They don't justify pulling away. They simply go quiet, like a power outage. And it hits differently when someone so grounded suddenly stops giving you access. It confuses people who are used to emotional puppeteering. But for the Sigma male, it's not personal, it's protection. Their time is their most valuable asset, and their peace is sacred ground. Once someone starts costing more than they contribute, they mentally flag that person as a liability. And liabilities get cut fast. They've learned, often the hard way, that not everyone deserves front row access to their mind, their space, or their energy. So they operate with this ruthless kind of self-respect that doesn't always look nice on the outside, but it's powerful. It's why they're not emotionally bankrupt like others who say yes to everything and everyone. Sigma males are not emotionally stingy, they're strategically selective. Big difference. What makes this habit unstoppable is that they never feel guilty for doing it. The average person gets stuck in guilt or overthinking. What if they think I'm rude? Or maybe I'm being too harsh? Not the Sigma. They know boundaries don't need to be explained. Energy speaks louder than words, and if someone doesn't get the hint, that's a them problem. This habit makes Sigma males rare. Because while everyone else is busy people-pleasing themselves into burnout, he's keeping his emotional account balanced, focused, and well-funded. He doesn't just protect his peace, he invests in it. Number 3, they mentally rehearse failure, not success. Sigma males have a strange habit that throws most people off. They don't obsess over success, they obsess over failure. While others are busy visualizing perfect outcomes, dream wins, and applause, the Sigma male is deep in his head, playing out every brutal scenario that could go wrong, not because he's negative, but because he's strategic. He mentally rehearses disaster, embarrassment, betrayal, rejection, loss, not to suffer, but to strip those fears of their power. See, most people are emotionally wrecked when life doesn't go according to plan. One unexpected hit and they spiral. But the Sigma? He's already lived it 100 times in his mind, so when it happens, he doesn't freeze. He moves calmly, efficiently, because mentally he's already been there, already survived it, already calculated his next 3 options. That's the twisted genius of this habit. It's not pessimism, it's preemptive control. By exposing himself to failure in his mind, he removes its ability to paralyze him in real life. This is how he builds real confidence, not through hype or positive affirmations, but through gritty mental preparation. He doesn't need someone to tell him, "You've got this." He knows he's got this because he's already handled the worst-case scenario in the silence of his own mind. And let's be honest, success is easy to imagine. Anyone can picture winning. But can you picture failing, being humiliated, hitting rock bottom, and still choosing to keep going? That's the part most people avoid. That's the part the Sigma male rehearses. Because he knows if he can emotionally survive the fall in his mind, nothing in the real world can destroy him. Pain becomes data, setbacks become intel, and failure becomes less of a threat and more of a sparring partner. That's what makes him so unfazed when things fall apart. People call it stoic or fearless, but it's really just preparation on a whole different level. While the world worships victory, the Sigma male studies defeat, because he knows one brutal truth. It's not the man who hopes for the best that wins. It's the one who's already faced the worst and refused to fold. Number 4, they make discomfort their comfort zone. Sigma males have a weird relationship with discomfort. They like it. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because they've figured out something most people spend their whole lives avoiding. Growth and comfort don't live in the same neighborhood. While everyone else is chasing ease, pleasure, and predictability, the Sigma male is voluntarily walking into the fire. Cold showers, brutal workouts, hard conversations, high-stakes decisions. He puts himself in situations that stretch him because he knows that's the only place real evolution happens. He's not addicted to pain, he's addicted to transformation. And he knows you don't become sharper by staying soft. The average person avoids awkwardness, avoids confrontation, avoids being the beginner, because it bruises their ego. But Sigma males walk straight into it. Why? Because they're not performing for approval, they're training for something bigger. When things get uncomfortable, they don't run, they lean in, because that discomfort is a signal they're leveling up. They've made peace with failing, fumbling, and even being misunderstood. They've learned that growth is supposed to be ugly, and the sooner you stop resisting the grind, the faster you evolve through it. This mindset becomes a weapon. While others break down when life gets tough, the Sigma male kicks into gear, because discomfort isn't foreign territory to him. It's home base. This also explains why they're often 10 steps ahead. They've already been through things others are too afraid to try. They've failed more, lost more, risked more, and that's exactly why they win more. They're not waiting for life to hand them strength. They're out there forging it in the dark, far away from applause, likes, or validation. Comfort zones are slow killers. The Sigma male knows this. That's why he chooses discomfort while everyone else clings to convenience. Because once you become dangerous inside uncomfortable situations, you become unstoppable in comfortable ones. And that's exactly the point. Number 5. They kill off the version of themselves that no longer serves them. Sigma males have no emotional attachment to outdated versions of themselves. If a mindset, identity, or habit no longer serves their evolution, they kill it. No second thoughts, no drawn-out emotional drama. They understand something most people refuse to accept. Personal growth requires ego death, repeatedly. While everyone else clings to who they've been because it feels safe, familiar, or validated, Sigma males walk away from old versions of themselves like they owe them nothing. Because they don't. They don't romanticize past successes. They don't hold on to titles, roles, or reputations that no longer align with who they're becoming. If the current version of them is holding back their next level, they gut it, fast. And that can look cold from the outside. Friends, habits, beliefs, even careers, nothing is too sacred to outgrow. The Sigma male sees identity as a tool, not a trap. And when a tool becomes dull, he swaps it out, without apologies. This makes them unpredictable. People expect consistency, but Sigma males are committed to progress, not predictability. If you knew him a year ago, you don't know him now. He doesn't care if the new version of him confuses you. He didn't evolve for your comfort. He evolved because staying stagnant made his soul itch. Reinvention is a ritual for him, not a one-time event. Most people resist change because they want to protect how others perceive them. But Sigma males would rather be misunderstood than stuck. They aren't afraid to destroy their image if it means building a better reality. That's what makes them so mentally dangerous. They aren't scared of starting over. In fact, they expect to start over again and again. It's not that they don't feel loss or discomfort. They do. They just don't worship it. They see letting go as an upgrade, not a sacrifice. If shedding old skin means being alone for a while, being judged, or walking through unfamiliar territory, so be it. That's the price of becoming someone stronger. Sigma males don't fear the death of old selves. They celebrate it because every time they kill off who they used to be, they get one step closer to who they're meant to become. Number 6. They build loyalty with unpredictability. Sigma males don't build loyalty by being predictable. They build it by being unreadable. Most people try to win others over by being consistent, easy to figure out, and safe. But the Sigma male, he operates in controlled unpredictability. Just when you think you've got him pegged, he shifts, not to confuse, but to stay in control. He knows that predictability is comfortable, and comfort breeds complacency. And complacency, that's the death of respect. So he keeps people guessing. One day he's fully present, engaging, sharp, and the next he vanishes into silence. Not out of malice, but strategy. He moves how he chooses, not how people expect. And this throws people off, in a good way. It makes them pay attention, because when you're not easily mapped, you become intriguing. People lean in, they want to figure you out, but they never fully can. That's power. The Sigma male isn't random, he's calculated. His unpredictability is never chaotic, it's curated. He sees the game from above. He knows when to be warm, when to be cold, when to speak, and when silence will sting louder. This dynamic keeps people on their toes, and weirdly enough, that's what builds loyalty. Because the moment people feel like you're too predictable, they tune out. They assume they've seen all you have to offer. But the Sigma makes sure that never happens. You can't pin him down. You can't decode him. And that mystery makes people return over and over, trying to catch the next glimpse of what he'll do. It's not manipulation, it's mystique. Most people are copy-paste personalities running on loops. The Sigma male disrupts the loop. He reinvents himself so often and moves with such intentional unpredictability, you can't help but remember him. That's why he leaves a lasting impression in any room. People might not always like him, but they don't forget him. And in a world where attention is currency, being unforgettable for all the right reasons is the ultimate edge. Number 7. They mentally fire people who disrespect them, long before they physically cut them off. When a Sigma male feels disrespected, he doesn't shout, argue, or throw a tantrum. He just starts the quiet process of firing you, mentally. The moment you cross that invisible line of disrespect, something inside him switches off. He detaches emotionally, silently, and completely. From the outside, it may seem like nothing's changed. He might still talk to you, still respond, still play it cool, but behind the scenes, You've already been archived. What you don't see is that he's already withdrawn the emotional investment. The trust is gone. The warmth is gone. He's already left. He's just tying up loose ends. Most people need closure or a confrontation to end things. Sigma males don't. They close doors without slamming them. They just lock them from the inside and never return. And when they finally do walk away, there's no performance, no big speech, no guilt trip. Just silence, that kind that echoes louder than words. It's clinical. It's precise. It's final. What makes this even more unnerving is how calm it all is. There's no emotional breakdown, no back and forth. You don't even see it coming until it's already done. That's because Sigma males don't react in real time. They observe, they assess, they give you space to correct yourself. And when you don't, they quietly subtract you from their future. By the time you realize you're out, it's already been decided, processed, and executed. They don't do revenge, they don't do messy, they just do gone. And that hits different, because people are used to explosive exits. The Sigma male gives them extinction instead. And it's not petty, it's self-respect. He refuses to keep anyone around who violates his standards, disrespects his time, or thinks he'll tolerate less than he deserves. This habit makes Sigma males untouchable, because you can't manipulate someone who doesn't need your validation. You can't guilt-trip someone who's already emotionally exited. And you can't win back someone who mentally cut the cord weeks ago. When a Sigma male fires you from his life, there are no appeals, no second interviews, and absolutely no rehiring. Number 8, they master detachment without becoming numb. Sigma males have mastered the art of detachment, but it's not about turning off their emotions. They feel deeply, perhaps more intensely than most, but they've trained themselves not to be controlled by those feelings. They see emotions as valuable data, not commands. Emotions don't dictate their actions. They simply report what's happening inside. It's like they've put their feelings in the passenger seat, not the driver's seat. And because of that, their decisions often come across as ruthlessly logical, even cold, but they're anything but numb. In a world where most people react to every wave of emotion, letting their feelings lead them into impulsive choices or irrational behavior, the Sigma male remains calm. He knows when to listen to his emotions and when to silence them. He can experience anger, sadness, frustration, and yet it doesn't steer him off course. It's like he's become the ultimate observer of his own emotional state, watching his feelings rise and fall like waves, but never getting lost in the tide. This level of detachment isn't about suppressing emotion, it's about control. Sigma males allow their emotions to surface, but they don't let them cloud their judgment or influence their actions. When it's time to make a decision, there's no hesitation, no inner conflict. The emotional noise is tuned out. They don't second-guess themselves, and they don't allow past feelings to dictate present choices. The result? Actions that seem sharp, decisive, and often harsh to outsiders, but are actually born from a place of clarity and calm. It's this emotional intelligence that makes them so unpredictable. While most people are slaves to their impulses, the Sigma male's responses are calculated, intentional, and unbothered by emotional chaos. They've trained themselves to create space between feeling and action, allowing them to respond instead of react. That's why they seem so composed in high-pressure situations. They're not ignoring their emotions, they're simply not letting them take over. And when others are scrambling, caught in the whirlwind of their own emotional reactions, the Sigma male stands tall, unaffected, because he's already detached from the noise. He doesn't let emotions control his story. He writes it with the wisdom of a man who knows that detachment doesn't mean indifference, it means freedom. Number 9, they feed off boredom to sharpen their edge. For most people, boredom is a slow death. It's the moment when the mind starts to wander, the motivation dips, and the energy fades. But for a Sigma male, boredom is pure fuel. While others scroll through their phones or indulge in distractions when things slow down, the Sigma male finds power in the stillness. It's the perfect breeding ground for sharpening his edge. When the world pauses, he doesn't. He uses those moments of quiet to quietly outgrow everyone else. He doesn't waste time looking for entertainment or filler. Instead, he looks at boredom as the perfect opportunity to evolve in solitude. It's when he's left with nothing to do, nothing to focus on, that he starts to work on himself, quietly and relentlessly. This is when he reworks strategies, refines skills, and improves on weaknesses. He's aware that time is the most precious thing he has, and he'll be damned if he lets it go to waste. While people around him are content with just surviving the lulls, the Sigma male uses that downtime to level up. He's learning something new, figuring out a better way to do something, or contemplating the next move in his plans. Boredom doesn't slow him down, it drives him forward. The longer the silence, the sharper he becomes. It's like he's crafting himself in the shadows, building a version of himself that's deadlier and more efficient than before, all while everyone else is idle. And that's where the danger lies. While others get complacent, the Sigma male is quietly plotting his next move, preparing for the moment when it's time to step into the spotlight. What people don't see is that the Sigma male never really rests. He just refines himself in ways that no one else notices until it's too late. When the world is asleep, he's in the process of becoming something far more dangerous. That's why when a Sigma male emerges from a period of boredom, he doesn't just return, he dominates. He's not the same person he was before the lull. He's been working, quietly sharpening his tools, and now he's ready to wield them with precision. Everyone else may have been wasting time, but the Sigma male was using every second to perfect his craft. Number 10, they reverse engineer manipulation to become unmanipulable. Sigma males don't fall for manipulation. They dismantle it. While most people are oblivious to the subtle tactics others use to control or sway them, Sigma males have studied manipulation like a science. They've analyzed how people use guilt, flattery, passive aggression, or gaslighting to get what they want. Not because they're interested in using it for themselves, but because they want to be immune to it. They reverse engineer the tricks of the trade to recognize them instantly and shut them down with the precision of a surgeon. They understand that the world isn't just a place of honest interactions. It's full of people trying to pull strings behind the scenes. And the Sigma male doesn't just react to manipulation, he spots it before it even begins. He sees through the facade, the hidden motives, the subtle attempts to twist his emotions or decisions. The moment someone tries to manipulate him, he recognizes it as a tactic, not a truth. And then he just shuts it down, cold, no anger, no confrontation, just a quiet acknowledgement that the game is over. But here's the kicker, Sigma males don't play games. While others may get caught up in the mind games, the manipulation, the back and forth of who's controlling whom, the Sigma male doesn't need to participate. He's above it. He doesn't engage in those petty power struggles because he's already written the rules. The game to him is about control, but control over himself, not others. He doesn't let anyone pull his strings because he's the one holding the scissors. This ability to neutralize manipulation makes Sigma males unshakable. They're not swayed by compliments that aren't earned, guilt trips that aren't deserved, or emotional plays designed to get a reaction. People might try, but their efforts are wasted. And this doesn't make the Sigma male cold or heartless. On the contrary, it makes him emotionally intelligent. He's aware of the games people play, but he chooses not to be a pawn in someone else's scheme. Instead, he's the one who quietly takes control of the board. And while everyone else is scrambling for power, he's already 5 steps ahead, untouchable, unmanipulable, and free. Number 11, they read people's patterns, not their words. Sigma males don't get swayed by what people say, they watch what they do. Words are easy and everyone knows that talk is cheap, but behavior, that's where the truth lives. Sigma males are keen observers, always looking for the subtle shifts in energy, the tiny inconsistencies, and the patterns people unknowingly repeat. While most are wrapped up in the performance of words, the Sigma male is quietly decoding the actions behind them, reading between the lines like a master code breaker. Every shift in body language, every change in tone, every action that doesn't line up with the spoken word is an indicator to the Sigma male. He's constantly gathering data, almost effortlessly, creating an invisible map of someone's tendencies, their underlying motives, and their emotional state. Over time, he builds a mental library of these patterns, an internal guide to understanding what people truly mean, even when they're not saying it. And this is what makes him dangerous. Not in an aggressive way, but in a way that makes him almost impossible to deceive. While others are caught up in convincing words or charming lies, Sigma males see through the act. They know that actions reveal the real story. They can spot when someone's energy shifts, when they're hiding something, or when they're trying to manipulate a situation. What most people miss in fleeting moments, the Sigma male catches without effort. The best part? Sigma males have an incredible memory for these patterns. They can recall the tiniest details from a conversation or situation. The way someone looked when they said something, the exact tone of voice they used, the gesture that contradicted their words. Over time, these observations give the Sigma male a sharp understanding of who people really are beyond the mask they put on. It's like he has a human lie detector built into his brain, except it's more sophisticated than any machine. He doesn't just catch lies, he catches patterns. The patterns that expose true intentions and reveal the heart of the person. So while others get caught in the web of words, the Sigma male remains detached, watching the game from the outside. He's already several steps ahead, and he doesn't need to speak much to know exactly who's playing him, or who's playing themselves. He understands that actions speak louder than words, and it's those actions that reveal the deepest truths. In the end, the Sigma male isn't just a mystery. He's the embodiment of self-mastery. He doesn't chase what's fleeting or settle for the noise of the world. He understands the power of silence, the strength in solitude, and the quiet authority that comes with knowing exactly who he is and what he's capable of. While others scramble for approval, validation, or success, the Sigma male positions himself in a way that makes those things come naturally, or fall away when they no longer serve his purpose. He's a master of his own energy, constantly refining, observing, and recalibrating, moving through life with a level of control that most can only dream of. His life is one of intention, not reaction. He doesn't let the chaos of the world define him. Instead, he defines his world, and in that there's a peace and power that's unmatched. If you want to understand what makes Sigma males truly unstoppable, it's not just their habits, it's their unwavering commitment to themselves, to their authenticity, to their mission, and to the quiet belief that they are the architects of their own reality, in a world where so many are caught up in the illusion of control. The Sigma male doesn't just play the game, he rewrites the rules. So while the rest of the world chases, hustles, and begs for what they think they deserve, the Sigma male will quietly sit back, knowing that in his stillness he is always ahead. He doesn't need to shout, he doesn't need to chase. He simply attracts, commands, and conquers, all while remaining effortlessly untouchable. And that is the secret to his unstoppable greatness. If you found this breakdown of Sigma male traits as powerful and eye-opening as I did, then it's time to hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on more content that dives deep into the world of self-mastery, success, and personal growth. Drop a like if this resonated with you, and let's get the conversation going in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts, insights, or any experiences you've had. And don't forget to share this with anyone who could use a little Sigma energy in their life. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay unstoppable.